TV that's not 4K, and obviously not a PS4 Pro. So there's two options within the VR mode that you can select. You've got VR Drive, VR Showroom. VR Drive is the racing, and you've got the VR Showroom. I'll show you the most disappointing thing first, which is the VR Showroom. So you have the option of selecting, whatever cars you want to have a look at. So I'm still not 100% sure why it does it like this, because I know I've got loads more cars in my garage, but it gives me these cars first, and then I have to go into garage cars to pick the other ones. I'm not sure why it does that, but hey ho, doesn't matter. So I will show you this one, which is, as I said in the video I was doing the other day, the Sumo Power GTR1 replica based on the GT3 Schultz Motorsport one. These are the controls for looking around the car. As you can see, it's very limited. That is it. That is all you can do with the car. You can change, it says change car lights, but it basically means you can turn the lights on and off, and then you can move around. Now, the moving around feature on this, because it's the PSVR, one of the things that they tried to cut down on when the PSVR first came out was the amount of motion sickness that people were feeling. So I think they tried different ways, and they come up with this one. And I first saw it playing Resi 7, and it's the fact that while you're looking around the room like this, obviously normally playing first-person games, you would use your right thumbstick to use that as your camera to look around, but it makes you feel very, very queasy. It does me anyway. So using your left thumbstick, you can move around as you would normally, albeit very, very slow. They've kind of wanted to sort of make you really look at the cars in this and sort of make the movement very slow rather than just kind of running around it. Using the right thumbstick basically turns you in increments. It's probably like 45-degree increments, I'd say. And they've done this in Resi 7 as well, and it works quite well. It cuts down on that motion sickness and things like that. So this is the GTR. As I said, you can't really do a lot on it, but you can get right up and close to it. I'm in quite a small environment, so I can't use my VR the way that I would like to, so I can't move around and walk around. I'm quite limited on my space. But as you can see from here, obviously you can get very close to the car. So in real life, this is probably maybe 3-4 inches or so, something like that. So you can get a really good look, and the detail is really, really good. So I'm using my hands because it's just like the car's there. So you can see the mesh obviously along there with the tow eye, the air vents sort of like in the front there that run into the engine. You've got your splitter and things, which I'm presuming is probably carbon fibre, but yet you can just see the carbon weave on it when it's kind of like not in the light, so to speak. So yeah, I mean the detail is pretty awesome. Moving around the car a little bit, I mean you can get right up close to it. You can, it feels like you could almost touch the tyres and the bodywork and things like that. So like they've nailed the visual side of the PSVR for this, in my opinion. But where I feel it's majorly let down is the fact that all you can do is turn the lights on. I used Forza 4 from the Xbox 360 as my prime examples of comparison when I'd done the first video, purely because at the time it was the best driving game available, and it just had so much content. You could do so much, and you had the option of looking around the cars like this, but you were able to open the doors. You could get in and out of the car. You could start the car, if I remember right. I'm sure you could anyway. And you could just do loads of stuff with it, and you would get a narrator talking to you over it, telling you about the history of the car, its power, and almost like a review of the car. And then some of them you even had Jeremy Clarkson from Top Gear. But this gives you nothing, and it's a real shame. I think they've really missed a trick with this. I really do. They could have exploited the VR and pushed it. I mean, Sony should have. I don't know what influence Sony had over Polyphonic Digital when they were doing this, But I feel that if they didn't have much sway, they should have turned around and really got them to like push and push and push the VR, because it is very good, but it's very much in its infancy at the moment. So there you go. So if you use press triangle, so there you go. That is the extent of what you can do. You can turn the lights on and off. So if I go around to the front, one thing that I did think was quite cool with this, and I'm clicking my left thumbstick for some reason because I still think I'm playing Destiny or Call of Duty. So, headlights, quite cool. Turn the lights on and off, but you know, that is about it. So anyway, next part of the video I'm going to do is the actual VR drive, and I'm going to show, I'm going to do it on Brands, just because it's my local track and I really like Brands Hatch, so I'm going to show it on Brands. So I'm going to do the full circuit. I'll do it around, tell you what, yeah, we'll do it around sunset, because you get some really a good idea of what the lighting is like inside the cars and things like that. So I'm going to go into my garage, pick my car, and you know what, I'm going to take the Vet out. Let's take the Corvette, shall we? So chuck it in auto for now. So there you can see, just from like the images there, obviously you can see that they really have like pulled out all the stops with all the detail and the accuracy of reproducing the cars in the game, but still for me it's just kind of, you can't put all of that and like all that polish and all that rest of it on it and leave it with zero content. So this bit here, so this is basically the sound of the Corvette running, and that's supposed to obviously symbolise like the engine and things while it's kind of loading. So the VR race that you can do, like I said in the video before, is sadly it's only 1v1, and you can't do online VR racing, which I think is just ridiculous, because Drive Club's been out for however long now, the VR version, and you look at the content that that's got and the fact that you can do your racing online with that, and this is just, it's just so limited. They could have pushed this so hard and got so much more out of it. I mean, hopefully that's going to be the case with future content and stuff like that, but I really do wish that they'd have put it in this. We've waited long enough for this game now, surely. I think probably next week, I think I'm probably going to get Project Cars 2. In fact, I will be buying Project Cars 2, and I probably won't pick Gran Turismo up again until they actually release more content on it, because I just don't think it's worth the money that they're paying for it. It's not a £60 game. It really isn't. I think it's ridiculous. So I'm going to take you around and show you the inside of what it's like in the car in this race around Brands Hatch. So track's faithfully reproduced, I know it is. Hopefully we'll be riding this track next year on my Honda CBR, so I hope it's accurate, because I'll be using this as my practicing. So okay, here we go. So in the car, as you can see, like me moving, it moves my character about. You can see all the fuel cell and everything like that down there, and the glare from the lighting, etc., and the sun and things, and there's the VM. So level of detail, but now I look out the window, it really does make you feel like you are in the game. I really overshot that bend. Handbrake up as well. Ooh. A couple of times when I was playing Drive Club, haven't experienced it so much in this because I haven't really used it that much. But a couple of times when I'd spin out or something like that on a really high powered rear-wheel drive car, do tend to get a little bit of motion sickness. But as you can see, the details are like within the car are really good. That dash is a little bit bright actually, but One of the other things as well that I noticed on this is you cannot change your like TCS settings, like traction control settings, and your braking setup and things while you're driving in VR for some reason, but yet you can in the normal single player. So I don't know why they've changed that or why they've took that out. I want to make it the real driving simulator and with the element of VR as well. Then we should have things like that in it. Make it real, or as real as can be. So yeah, it does look really good. It's a little bit kind of like blurry at distance, but that's probably because I'm not using a Pro 4K TV. Anyway, I'm going to shut up for this lap, and I'll try and just drive it as I would normally. Hi guys. Try and barge me off the track, sunshine. I've just got to mention as well, with the VR content, obviously, this is the only view. You can't be outside the car or anything like that, which is fine by me. That's what I want from a racer in VR. You can see like the sun like glaring through the window sticker there. So effects wise and little touches like that really do make it. God, this car handles amazing. So have a quick look over the side, you can see the other footwell, look in the back of the car and things. Just reposition that, silly me. Yeah, so there you go. That is Gran Turismo Sport in VR. Potentially it could go very well, it could go very far, but they need to bring more into it. They need to bring online racing. They need to bring in like proper racing with it, so there's more than one car on a track as well, just even in not the single player. It would just make so much of a difference. We'll see what happens, I guess. Anyway, so this is the second video that I've put out. I'm still kind of like working on doing things a little bit better, getting used to how you use SHAREfactory and stuff. So if you like, I'll try and get more stuff on here at some point. So please give us a like or something like that if you find that this has been helpful in any way. If you want to subscribe, I'll try and get like more content out at some point very soon, and it'll keep you sort of like updated and posted. Leave any comments below as well, and yeah, thanks very much for watching.